Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial I have a quite exciting one. I want to share with you guys about this website called a LocalWP, or this software called LocalWP, which is a local hosting development tool for WordPress. So you are able to spin up a WordPress website super fast, and you're able to start making the edits to them and overall just building out your WordPress websites with no domain needed, no hosting needed. So basically you can get started for complete free. And in today's tutorial, that's exactly what I want to talk about. The first thing you need to do is, of course, go to localwp.com, and again, it is totally free. So what we're going to do is click on the download for free, or you can choose this one. It doesn't matter. Both of them lead you to the same thing. All you're going to be doing is downloading this to your computer, because this will allow us to make our computer our hosting environment for the websites. You heard me correctly. Instead of going to places like Bluehost, NameHero, or any other hosting software, you can use your laptop or desktop, whatever you're using, to be your hosting environment for your WordPress websites. All right, so here is some installation options for us to be, putting on our computer. So it says, please select whether you wish to make this software available to all users or just yourself. I'll do only me for now. And of course, you do have to have a destination folder. So if you're really particular about how things are saved on your computer, be sure to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and go with the main one, or the default one that they have for me, and I'm going to go ahead and install. All right, so it said it is done, and of course we want to run it locally, so we're just going to go ahead and click on finish. All right, and then they're going to pop up this little window. They're just wanting you to agree to the terms of service. So I definitely recommend you to read this and make sure that you agree with everything. And then once you do, go ahead and agree, and it will automatically open up the app for you. And now it says welcome to local, and we can go ahead and create our free account. All right, and once I created my account, I basically just connected with Google, so it was super easy for me. However, once you do log in, you will see that you now have this account right here. Now, the cool thing is you would already have the app in the bottom of your toolbar. You can't see it on my screen, but I do see it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and now you can open it. So now you see, once we click on that, you'll actually see it right here. So we can turn this on if we want, or we can just choose no thank you. I'm just going to choose no thank you. And here we are. We now have the LocalWP app right here on our computer. And obviously the first thing we need to do is create a site. So let's go ahead and create our first site. All right, so of course we will stick on this one right here for create new site, because that's what we're doing. However, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the video, but you do have the option to create from a blueprint. But for the simplicity of this video, we're going to click on create new site. We're going to go ahead and continue. And then now we're going to give our site a name, because remember guys, we don't need a domain and we don't need hosting. So here they're just like, hey, give it a title. So let's just say we call this new site. All right, we'll just go with something simple. And they do have some advanced options down here. But again, if you are a newbie, you don't need to worry about too many of the advanced options, because everything is just going to work out of the box for you. So we're just going to name our site new site, and we're going to go to continue. And as you see, you got the environment to choose. You can go from preferred, or you can go to custom, and if you click on custom, you will see specifics up here. So again, if you are a website developer and you know a lot of these things, you know kind of like what you want, what type of environment that you like to build in, then of course here is some options for you. Again, if you're just a newbie getting started, then stick on preferred. And we're going to continue. And of course, we need a WordPress username and password, because again, guys, we're still going to be able to log into WordPress as an admin and start building out our website. So here are the steps to make sure we can get in. So make sure you do create the username and the password, and you have an email that you can access. That way you can, of course, get into the WordPress admin. All right, so now that I have the WordPress admin details right here, I will go ahead and continue. Again, guys, you do have some advanced options if you so wish to do so. But now we're going to go ahead and add our site. So now I have this pop-up saying it's a Windows security. We're just going to go ahead and allow that. We're going to allow this one as well. And as you see, it is going through the process of installing WordPress and downloading it, activating things, and basically ensuring that this new website that we just created can access the WordPress admin and we can begin building. All right, and now it is done, and now you see we have this little overview right here. So obviously the site domain is of course what we created, but as you see it has .local behind it. This is just ensuring us and just for the safety of you, so you can remember that this isn't a live website, this is a local website, meaning this is not accessible to the web. No one can search this and browse the store or the website that you're creating. This is just locally for you. And that gets me into a quick little break. I want to talk about what is local hosting and why you even need to use something like this in the first place. So in simplest terms, local hosting just gives you the ability to run your website on your local computer and not the live web. So when to use local hosting would be if you are a agency or a freelancer and you're just trying to test out an update that's normally would be on a live site. However, we know about testing things on live sites is a no-no, okay? You don't do that. So if you're trying to test out something like maybe some updates or a new plugin, or if you're trying to do some updates to maybe, let's say, one of your client sites, why do these changes on the live site when you can just pull it down into a local hosting, do your updates, test it out, and then you can push it to live. So these are the reasons why you would honestly need to use local hosting. Another reason, another big reason actually, is if you are looking to practice web design. If you're looking to practice with WordPress, local hosting is the way to go. So if you want to, let's just say, practice this because you are taking one of my classes and now is your time to actually, practice this out on your own time, this is when local hosting comes into play, because remember, this isn't a live site. Only you can see it. It's not accessible to everybody in the world or everybody in your country or your state. It's not accessible on the web. This way, using LocalWP is only for testing or practicing purposes only. So now that you kind of understand that a little bit more, that is the reason why the site domain definitely has .local behind it to signify or identify you that this is not a live website. Now, of course, you have a bunch of other stuff right here that isn't really needed. You're not going to really mess with this. However, if you are, again, a developer and you know the type of environment you like to build your WordPress websites in, these are some quick options for you right here. Now, one thing I will note to go ahead and toggle on would definitely be this one-click admin. And of course, by default, it would choose you as the admin. But if you had other people working on this, you could, of course, select the admin. But I would highly recommend this because it just makes it super easy. And over here you see we do have an open site. Now we do have a few options over here that we're going to get into in just a second, but let me just show you guys how quickly it is to reach the WordPress admin or even the site. So you guys know we just created this brand new site called a new site. Now if I just click this open site, you see that it promptly brings me to the browser, and I do see I think this is the 2025 theme from WordPress. It's right here, and as you see, it's live for me to view. The next thing obviously is this WP admin, and so if you were to choose this, like I said, it will bring you to the default login WordPress dashboard page, and you will need to put in your credentials that you did put in when you were signing up or creating this website here. Now that's why I said this one-click admin comes into play, so helpful, because just like that you'll be able to open this up immediately. So now if I were to click on it, as you guys see, this is a real life WordPress dashboard in the flesh. You can do anything. You can go ahead and you can start browsing different plugins. So your favorite plugins that you like to use when you're building websites, you can do that. You can go here and you can do themes. So this will allow you to get the real life building experience with WordPress with no hosting and no domain name. All you need to do is grab local hosting, or not grab it, but you need to just create your account once you download it to your computer and you can get started right away. So again, going back to this little dashboard, of course you have this tab here for the database, so you can see everything right here, and then you do have some other options right here in the tools. So essentially you guys know that most times you will need FTP, or you would need to go to the back end of your hosting panel to find your file manager for your website, whereas LocalWP makes it super easy. They actually grant you their own or its own dedicated folder right on your computer for you to view that. So if I just click on this, it'll then open up the file manager for me that's on my computer, and now I can easily browse to the files on my computer. So I can go to app, click on public, and as you see, we see the WP admin, WP content, WP includes, and we see everything right here. Now I don't have anything on their website obviously just yet. However, you see you can view all of that right here. Again, this is something that you would need maybe, you know, FTP, or you might have to go to the back end of your cPanel in order to visit the file manager for your WordPress website. There's some other options here that we're not going to get into because again it's super advanced and we're just keeping it super simple. Over here on this left hand side, obviously this is the list of your local sites. Right here you do have some connection things like that. We're not going to get into that. And then you do have some blueprints. Now what are the blueprints? If you, let's just say you create your new site, or you know, actually this one right here called new site, if you do create this one out and you have basically all of the necessary plugins on it that you know you would typically use for every website that you will create, you can then turn that into a blueprint. So if I just go back here to the sites and I right click, you see that you have all of these different options, and right here you have the option to save this website as a blueprint. So again, it's simply just saying this new site that you created, you're going to install all of the necessary plugins that you normally use, and you're going to make that a blueprint. That way, every time you create or spin up a new site by clicking this plus button here, it'll automatically have all of those plugins for you, and you can just basically go by the blueprint. And then you do have some add-ons right here. So the library right now is pretty small. However, it can be plenty depending on what you're trying to do. And again, this is all up to you in what you like to do. And of course, down here, you have some more things from WP Engine. So basically, LocalWP is one of WP Engine's tools. So of course, you can see everything else that they've created here, and you can browse around and, you know, get to playing with that. So if I were to just go back to the local sites here where I can see this site, if I just click on this plus sign, you'll see that is just taking me back through the process of creating a site. So again, I can create another site, and this one will be, let's just say second new site. Again, we're gonna go through it, simply just continue for everything. We wanna keep the basics. We're gonna put in our credentials here. So now you see it's finished. So the only thing we're going to do here is of course go ahead and turn it on, because that's exactly what I want in order to make sure that logging in is super easy and you're pretty much good to go. So like I said, you can create a group. We're not going to do that right now. However, now you see we have both of our sites right here. And that's pretty much it for today's tutorial. I want to just quickly show you guys how you can quickly and promptly spin up WordPress websites for your designing needs, for your practice needs, for your testing needs, and how easy and quickly it is to automatically, with a click of a button, be prompted to the WordPress dashboard and viewing the site to start building. And if you guys are looking for a one-on-one design session, you can easily book a class right here. I will have this website linked down in the description box below, but you can easily book a class or a one-on-one session with me, and I teach you all about web design inside of WordPress using Elementor. That's pretty much I have for today's video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.